Hi, my name is Ken Schwartz of Precise Sharpening, and today I'm going to be demonstrating a stone that has not yet been assigned to either the Nubatama or the Nubatama bamboo or the UME series of stones. This is a 220 grit stone, and we're going to test it out for the first time. So again, the first thing we'll do is check porosity on the stone. I expect it to be a fairly porous stone. 220 grits usually are. So, yeah, goes in pretty quickly. So what we're going to do is start by soaking the stone a little bit. And it goes in quite quickly. So let's let it run for a little bit and see how it absorbs water. So the knife that I'm going to be using right now is a customer's knife, and this knife has gone through hell. So what we see is that we have some tip damage over here, and I might add this is sort of the real world of your customers most of the time, or your friends, or people who bring you knives. So you've got some nice chipping over here, and again, using the nail test, if you can't see it, we'll take a nail, a fingernail, and not the flesh part, but turn it up like this, and run your finger along there, and you'll feel where the chips are. So we have a good chip right over here, 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 and so forth, all along, chipped all over the place. So chips, chips, chips galore. Enough chips for a party here. All right, let's see how the stone's soaking. Okay, it seems to be holding it fairly well at this point, which is fairly quick for a 220 grit size stone. So one of the things, I don't know if the camera will pick up the sound, but let's give this a try. If you're sharpening and let's say your edge is too acute and you're trying to find the angle, and don't want to use the Sharpie trick and so on and so forth, use your ears. So listen to the sound when it's too acute as I bring it up, and you'll hear a change in pitch as we hit the bevel. You hear that? Nothing, nothing, nothing. There, it's catching. Right about there. That's the angle that this knife was sharpened at. And we're not going to really change the angle, because what we're really interested in doing is clearing the chips out. So let's get going on that. Again, it's saturating fairly well already. So let's get going. This might take just a little bit of time. So this particular knife is a 270 millimeter Tojiro gyuto or chef's knife, Japanese chef's knife. Type of steel is a VG10 type of steel. So it's a stainless steel knife. You know, for better or for worse, some environments just will not handle carbon steel, where you can't always take really good care of your knife, and they get used by multiple people and so forth. So, all right, let's listen to the stone a little bit and see how things are going here. I'm applying a good bit of pressure. I'm not getting a lot of mud. I am getting some mud. Let's take a look and see how we're doing here. Alright, so the edge is already a good bit sharper. we have already generated some burr just on the one side. So rather than just letting that burr grow and grow and grow and saying, my, what a big burr I have, we're going to flip sides and work both sides. And of course, one of the reasons for this is that you're not so much interested in how big of a burr you can generate, but you're trying to maintain the symmetry of the knife and have the edges meet where they used to meet, not off to one side or the other to generate burr. So let's add a little bit of water. So far my impressions are this is a solid little stone, fast cutting, not a lot of mud, which means that it's not going to be dishing very fast. And again, in the real world, your coarse stone is where the work gets done. Because without a good, precise geometry at your coarsest grits, the rest becomes a waste of time. So now we have a good sized burr over here. We still have we've mostly gotten rid of most of the chips. Over here is still pretty rough. So this is going to take a little more work. And what we're going to do is sacrifice a little of the profile, change the profile slightly, and really concentrate right over here. These chips extend all the way up into the bevel. They are probably the worst chips of the bunch. The rest of them seem to be pretty well gone. So let's focus on the end. And what we'll do is draw across the stone to give the maximum amount of wear on the tip while maintaining angles and doing sweeps, more concentrating towards the front of the knife than the back. You can see this on the path that I'm taking across the stone. Again, you have to take down some of the rest of the knife to take this down as well. Now I'm ambidextrous, so I tend to switch hands from right to left, whereas what some people do is when they go from one side to the other, they switch this way and come back. So they come back in this sort of a position. There's not really a right way or a wrong way in that regard. That's more a matter of style and what one prefers to do. Okay, again, we're getting there. I'm going to work on this end area a bit more because that's where most of the damage is. And again, somewhat like a tip repair where the tip's been busted. You can't just work on that one spot. You have to lead into it so that you maintain a nice curve on your knife. You want to try and use the stone pretty evenly. But again, this is dishing very slow for a coarse grit stone. In fact, I would hardly even mention dishing because it's not seeing it. That's most impressive for a coarse stone. Okay, how are we coming along here? Alright, let's go over the whole thing. I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's give this knife a rinse and see where we are. Again, the fingernail test. Pick up very small variations. So, running it along here. I think we have pretty much taken care of most all the chips. There is an uneven spot right there at the very tip that should be taken out. So let's focus on that just a little bit more. I don't know if the camera will quite pick it up, but right there is a little bit of chip left, and right there is some unevenness. Now, I will say that the kind of stroke that I'm doing right now, where all that pressure is getting applied right down at the tip, normally that would trash the surface on a 220 grit stone, but this stone seems pretty much unfazed by what I'm doing to it. Again, that's very impressive. You know, if you're distributing over a broader area, that's less pressure on any one point in the stone. Okay, we're just about there. A little steeper angle. Okay, even a little steeper right at the very end. Okay, I think we're about done here. A few extra strokes. A little deburring on the opposite side. Okay, we are good to go here. Very clean all the way. There is still a little bit more of a rough spot there. I'm going to increase the angle on this just a bit. Just because, again, I know the owner of this and I know the way he uses it, and a little coarser tip will not be the end of the world for the type of work he does. Okay, there we go. So we now have an edge with no chips in Very little time. Smooth. Very good. So, quick review. This stone holds water very well, cuts very slowly. Excellent stone all the way around. I think we'll definitely be seeing this one in a future lineup in either the Nubatama UME or Bamboo series. Thank you for your time.